Miss Gonji Budiosonya akan kembali ke Unggari itu hari Kamis, kemungkinan besar hari Kamis ini. Panitia perlu ini ya, terus dari teknik informatika, coba ngacung yang mana aja. Oke. Tadi sipil mana tadi sipil? Sipil. Industri. Oke, nanti kita pada bawah semua kali ini kita sama mendengarkan kuliahnya bersama.
Ya, yang di belakang ya. Apalagi? Duduk. Mau mulai cari dia lagi. Baik, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera bagi semua. Mungkin tak banyak penyampaian, hanya saya bisa sampaikan di kegiatan kita kali ini kita akan mengadakan namanya Kuliah Pakar. Nah, jadi kita di sini akan belajar dan kita di sini tidak ada yang dinamakan seminar. Ini bukan seminar, tapi kuliah pakar. Jadi, buat kawan-kawan tolong kondusifkan ruangannya agar kegiatan ini berjalan dengan lancar. Untuk kegiatan ini paling lama hanya 2 jam. Nah, saya harap kawan-kawan tolong ciptakan ruangan yang kondusif. Oke? Untuk dasarnya yang keluar izin ke kamar mandi itu hanya diberikan batas 6 orang. Nah, untuk panitia jika ada kawan-kawan yang lain yang keluar itu hanya bisa 6 orang maksimal. Jika 6 orang tadi telah balik kembali, berarti bisa lagi yang 6 orang kalau mau keluar. Dan yang kedua, HP tolong disilentkan. HP Android, iPhone-nya tolong silentkan. Dan tolong ciptakan ruangan kondusif. Dan sekian dari saya. Wabillahi taufiq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sebentar kita bayar berapa?
Okta, apa lagi? Dia,
Bahasa Arab. Speak English.
datanglah suruh nanti masuk. Dah, mohon satu suara kawan-kawan. Mungkin materinya udah masuk. Nah, tolong ciptakan ruangan kondusifnya. Nah, mohon HP disalinkan satu suara. Sekian, terima kasih.
Baik, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning ladies and gentlemen. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here today at this wonderful place. I am Wahyudi. It's greatest chance for me to be your MC in a very special occasion. Kuliah Pakar, Fakultas Teknik Universitas Pahlawan dengan topik Artificial Intelligence AI Usage on Engineering, penggunaan kecerdasan buatan AI pada bidang teknik. The respectable Mr. Emon Azriadi STMSC, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering Pahlawan University. The Honorable Ms. Safni Marwa STMSCE, Vice Dean of the Faculty of Engineering Pahlawan University. The Honorable Head of the Civil Engineering, Industrial Engineering and Informatic Engineering Programs at Pahlawan University. The Honorable Lecturer at the Faculty of Engineering, the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Ms. Tongyi Bujoso, a resource person from the University of Debrecen, Hungary. The Honorable Mr. Dedi Guzman Eskom MTI as moderator at today's event. The one we proud of and especially the beloved audience, the student from the Faculty of Engineering at Pahlawan University. First of all, let's say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has give us guidance, healthy and mercy so we can attend and participate in this special event without any obstacle. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had brought us to the path of light from the darkness in this life. The next agenda is greeting speech and the opening ceremony by the of the Faculty of Engineering Pahlawan University. Will welcome Mr. Emon Azriadi, STMSC.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wasallam. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lahu wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma shalli wa sallim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wasallam. Miss Gongji Bujoso, welcome to our university. It's a pleasure to have you here, to have your time here with us, to be around here, to share your knowledge for our students. Di sini saya ingin menyampaikan bahwa kita akan mendengarkan kuliah pakar dari ahlinya langsung dari Hungari, dan kami berharap di sini semua audien termasuk dosen yang punya kesempatan untuk bisa bersama-sama dengan kita sama-sama mendengarkan. Kemudian di sini kami berharap ini tidak hanya semacam sharing knowledge dari luar ke kita, tapi ini sama-sama kitanya juga harus mencari. Kitanya harus mendapatkan sedikit informasi dari Miss Gongji, kita gali terus dan coba gali terus sehingga betul-betul nanti kita kuliah ini setara tidak hanya dengan anak-anak kuliah dari Indonesia, UI, PBGM, tapi juga setara dengan minimal ya Hungari dan sebagainya. Jadi harapan kami di sini kalian terbiasa dengan hal-hal yang sifatnya internasional, tidak hanya melulu orang-orang Indonesia lokal saja, tapi terbiasa juga dengan kompetisi global. Sehingga kalau betul perlu dengan orang-orang yang biasa bergerak di internasional. Kemudian kita memanfaatkan 2 jam ini betul-betul untuk bisa mendengarkan, menggali, belajar dari Miss Gongji. Mudah-mudahan apa yang kita lakukan pada hari ini menjadi suatu keberkahan untuk kita bersama. Saya tutup. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The next agenda is our main event, which will be hosted by moderator who present to you, Mr. Dedi Guzman Eskom MTI. Baik, acara selanjutnya yaitu penyampaian materi kuliah pakar dari pemateri kita yang sudah hadir bersama kita. Jadi diharapkan kepada kawan-kawan untuk bisa mendengarkan dengan baik materi yang disampaikan nanti, dan tolong jaga kondusif ruangan agar pelaksananya acara kita ini dengan lancar sampai akhirnya acara nanti. Dan untuk acara selanjutnya saya serahkan sepenuhnya kepada moderator, kepada Bapak Dedi Guzman, dipersilakan.
Dia punya gambarnya. Iya.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya, alhamdulillah pagi ini kita berkesempatan untuk kuliah pakar ya teman-teman ya. Ini salah satu upaya kita untuk memberikan nuansa internasional di kampus kita ya. Jadi kalau kalian lihat nanti bagaimana sih perkembangan di luar, coba kalian lihat dan supaya kalian juga memiliki pengalaman ya untuk nanti mana tahu ada yang berminat habis ini kuliah keluar itu seperti apa sih gambarannya ya, nanti apa sih kira-kira perkembangan teknologinya sama nggak dengan di sini, kalian bisa compare nanti ya. Jadi nanti kalau yang terlalu silau dengan internasional, kalian nanti oh kayaknya kita nih nggak jalan salah tertinggal sebenarnya. Ya, jadi jangan terlalu silau dengan itu sebenarnya. Tapi kita mungkin ada hal yang kita dapat pelajari dari mereka dan kita juga dapat nanti belajar dari kita juga belajar dan mereka juga belajar kok dari kita gitu ya. So it's collaborative. So nanti saya harapkan teman-teman untuk aktif mendengarkan. Kalau misalnya nanti Oke, ya ada sesi tanya jawab, silahkan tanyakan. Kalau takut nggak bisa berbahasa Inggris, bahasa Indonesia saja nanti coba kita translate. So this is our effort to introduce internationalization to our faculty member and the students. And I hope, even though maybe some of them will not understand, but we hope that every student here will be able to speak some English and at least they understand it. Jadi ya tidak-tidaknya mungkin ada nanti yang nggak ngerti gitu ya. Ya tapi ini salah satu cara supaya nanti teman-teman terpacu untuk belajar juga menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Karena sumber pengetahuan kita sekarang ya mau nggak mau kita akui literaturnya banyak dari luar gitu ya. Jadi ya ini salah satu upaya kita untuk memacu atau memantik minat adik-adik semua. Yeah. Okay. For this morning, allow me to introduce our speaker, Associate Professor Yogi Bujoso. Professor Bujoso is an Associate Professor at the Department of Computer Science, Faculty of Informatics at University of Debrecen in Hungary. Her academic journey is distinguished by her master degree in informatics, mathematics, and chemistry, earned both in Hungary and France. Jadi masternya banyak, ya, matematik, informatik, ya, di Hungaria dan di Prancis. Magisternya. So as well as a PhD in mathematical and computer science. Also, she has a habilitation in computer science. Those are the habilitation as after you have PhD, then you go. What is habilitation? Maybe you can explain that because is it like postdoctoral? Yes.
Examination, and I am a good teacher.
Oh yeah. So he has habilitation. It's like not everybody has. So he has a habilitation in computer science. So that's our speaker for this morning, and I hope everybody will try to listen, try to learn something, try to ask questions. Ya, jadi supaya ada sesuatu yang dapat kalian pelajari hari ini dan kalian berani untuk bertanya. Itu ya. Our theme today is about artificial intelligence. It uses on engineering, but mainly we will speak about AI as a word. And please, if you have any question, ask the professor then. Yeah. Okay. Please, you will have the floor. Maybe. Oke, yang lain silahkan menyimak. Nanti ada pertanyaan silahkan ditanyakan. Profesor, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Don't you mind if I'm sitting here because I'm not feeling very bad? Good days here for me. Thank you very much. Today I would like to talk about some basic things about the artificial intelligence, because there are many interesting things in the basics, and you should know what kind of topics and what kind of fields are in this field. So the AI is a rapidly growing, rapidly developing, and rapidly transforming field that has many different There are many applications, and there are many types of applications that you can be interested in the artificial intelligence. And I would like to show you the basics of that. So what is the AI? What is the artificial intelligence? The artificial intelligence is on one side, mimicking human intelligence. The AI is the ability of computer system to perform tasks that physically require human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, and decision making. This is one hand. And another hand is machine learning, because the core part of AI, the machine learning, enables computers to learn from data without explicit programming. Algorithms and analyze data to identify patterns and make predict predictions. Maybe you have heard about that. And the deep learning is the third big part of the artificial intelligence, that is the subset of the machine learning. The deep learning utilizes complex neural networks inspired by the human brain extract insight from vast amount of data for getting results of a lot of fields. And applications, you can see fields of applications of artificial intelligence. For example, the self-driving car, probably you went with this. Have you ever used a self-driving car before? But we saw it on the internet, how it works. So this is an AI-powered system, process real-time data from sensors, because there are many sensors in a self-driving car, to navigate roads, detect obstacles, and make driving decisions based on this data. And the system collects and analyzes all of this vast amount of data, and it makes decisions based on this analysis. And for example, in medical diagnosis, I don't know if you have heard about the Google doctor. The Google doctor who tells you about some, if you enter some data, for example, I'm coughing and I have a fever and so on and so on, and the Google doctor tells you that probably you have this problem, you have this illness. So that can be very good. Of course, it cannot replace human beings, but it can help a lot for the doctors because they can analyze this vast amount of data and they can predict something. And of course, the human doctor has to check it, and he or she has to tell that it's okay or not okay. Because after the artificial intelligence has no soul, has no feeling, so it cannot feel a lot of things that a human being can. So then we need the human being for the real diagnosis. And personalized recommendations, for example, AI-powered recommendations, use that data and preferences to suggest products, services, and content in your individual interest. You can see it, for example, in the Spotify. You can see it in the Netflix, because Spotify and Netflix uses AI to recommend, it checks your behaviors, it collects many data, analyzes this data, and based on this data and analysis, it recommends new songs for you. And of course, there are many other fields that you can find AI applications. Maybe you don't know if there are many AI all around the world and around you. For example, in the industry, production automation or quality control or maintenance or forecasting. But in the energy field, more efficient energy production and use for management on the newer energy resources. And concerning the security, the cyber security, crime prevention, surveillance systems, digital signatures, privacy protection. It's very interesting part because, for example, the face recognition is part of this topic. And not only the face recognition, but imagine that maybe you can have heard about it, but there is a tattoo recognition system in the USA. So those people who are in crime, so they were in jail, every tattoo is photographed, and not only face recognition, but pattern recognition can have the police people for finding some criminals. And agriculture, there are many. For example, precision farming, procrastination, plant protection, weather forecasting, automated farming. But automated farming, it's very interesting too. For example, imagine that in Holland, in the Netherlands, there is a farm. There are many cows, and there is not enough people for taking care of the cows. So they put many sensors on every cow, and they are on the field. And these sensors collect and send data. Maybe you know about the IoT. Have you ever heard about the IoT, Internet of Things? So the Internet of Things is used here too, because through the Internet of Things, they send the data to the center, to the form center, and they collect every data about every coach on the field, and they know, even if they are outside, they know everything about every coach, even if they are sitting in the center house. So that's very interesting. And of course, everything is analyzed immediately, and if something's happened and it looks the cow is a little bit ill or something, some problem occurs, they can go there and they can check that code, and of course they know where is that code that has some problem. So finance, you can find many applications. For example, risk analysis, crime prevention. Crime prevention is more and more important. Just in the last week, I got 3 phone calls from somewhere, and it looked like that the phone call came from Hungary, and when I answered, it turns out that it's something else. So the phone number has been changed immediately, and somebody was talking in English in the phone. So the crime prevention is very important, more and more important, because a lot of people would like to get money from us. And of course the customer service, because there is not enough people for customer service, even if they use and they hire a lot of people, far is from India, for example, there are many people who are in the customer service of banks, for example, but it's not enough. So most of the problems can be solved by using the AI. And for example, the trade. Recommendation systems, inventory management, tracking user activities, customer analysis. And if you think about, for example, the package delivery systems, for example, how they can organize delivery all over the world. So they use the AI very much there. Many applications. And of course in the research, because every research has to apply artificial intelligence application, because they have to collect data, they have to process this data, they have to analyze this data, and they have to have pattern recognition, and of course support research project predictions, marketing. There are many customer habit monitoring, customer behavior analysis, personalized ads that you can find many in, for example, the social media applications. They know everything. Probably you realize that if you look at something for example, you search something on the Google, in 1 minute later, in the social media application, you will get many advertisements on this topic immediately. Or if you just talk about it with somebody and the mobile phone listen to you, after that you will get such kind of advertisement immediately. And music. More and more artificial intelligence applications are in the art. They make art pieces too, and sometimes it works really well. There's a composition, sound processing, musical augmentation system. Composition, maybe you can know some artificial intelligence personalities and influencers on the internet who make their own music. It means that an artificial intelligence fake personality influencer makes music with AI. If you look at people like that, for example, they can collect one artificial intelligence song could collect during 2 months 1.5 million likes in social media applications. So it's very huge and it's money, of course, not only good, that's money. And the artificial intelligence in the cinematography too, because it can screenwriting, video editing, and it can make special effects, animations, and design avatars and move avatars, and of course the avatars can live, and they look like real personalities. And bigger problem because we cannot know if yesterday or 2 days ago I saw a video with a Hungarian politicians, and he told funny things on the video. And of course it was not he, but it was generated by the AI, but it was absolutely real. So it looked really real. It's very hard to find out if it is, for example, a video fake or not fake. And literature, more and more, text writing application, translation application, they are really very good. I don't know how it is Indonesian, the Hungarian translator doesn't work well yet. In Indonesian, is it good? Does it work well? The translations, for example, the Google translator to Indonesian, is it good? Yes. The English is perfect, yes. Visual art, image processing, style transfer, generative art has a bigger and bigger market too, because people make a lot of artwork on this field. And of course the learning and teaching, because in learning we can use AI application in practicing class, explaining theory with personalized engagement, personalized learning material creation, and teaching teachers assistant, grading assistant can be in AI, by AI, and course planning assistance, class management, learning material development, and so on and so on. There are really many. In the everyday life, we have the intelligence search that you use. Of course, we have AI-powered chats. We have healthcare system. We have smart budgets. That's smarter and smarter, and maybe has some security problems. For example, have you ever seen a smart hat or a smart socks? Smart hat socks. A t-shirt. There are smart t-shirts. There are smart trousers. Smart socks. So there are a lot of smart things that collect data, of course, with a lot of sensors, and the mobile application can analyze this data and tells, for example, please be calm because your heartbeat a little bit higher than it should be. And of course, we have the military use and the industrial research that we cannot know too many because it's full of secrets. want to make groups of AI-based application, we can, for example, based on the capabilities, we can have 3 main groups. The narrow AI is also known as big AI. These types of AI designed to perform industry or enterprise-specific tasks, such as chatbot, image recognition, or language translation. Maybe you know the Siri. Have you ever used the Siri? Or Bixby? Cortana, Amazon Alexa. And the ChatGPT can be a part of this narrow AI because it can do only one thing. You have to write prompt. You have to write prompts and you will get something. So you can, for example, analyze painting with it. But you have to write prompt and you will get something on the prompt. So, and the next one, general AI, also known as strong AI, is only theoretical at the moment because it has to have the same intelligence than the human people. And no, we cannot do it, so this exists only theoretically. And above it, there is the super AI that will know more than the human being. Of course, this is theoretically exists, so we cannot use it yet, but you will be those people who can make it, who can program it, and you can find it out how to make a general AI or super AI in the future. And in the narrow AI, you can see some examples. For example, voice assistant, the Siri, Bixby, Cortana, Alexa, or the Google Assistant, or recommendation system. The Spotify is very good, I think. Netflix, so. And Amazon is quite good too. For example, in the email filtering, because they can decide what email should be in which folder, or which is spam or not spam, or which is private, or this is something like that. So that the email filtering is very good, for example, in the Gmail. For weather forecasting, temperature, precipitation, and any other storms, quite good. Not for a long time, but for 3 days it's quite good. There are quite good systems that can be used, that's okay. And of course the chatbots that we can use for bigger tasks and for smaller tasks, and we can personalize them. And there are free chatbots that we can use for our own purposes. And what is the benefits of the narrow AI? For example, the efficiency. Because the narrow AI system can perform specific tasks more efficiently. And accurately than humans, using the time and effort required to complete these tasks. For example, if you want to hire persons that you have and you collect CVs, it's very time-consuming to read every CV. But the AI can read it and can prepare it for the human resource management, and this is probably good, this is good, and they can make a qualification, and they can suggest which person should be called, should call and have a report event. And availability, because the AI doesn't sleep, so it is available for 24 per 7 days, 24 hours per 7 days, without breaks, providing constant service. That's very good comparing the human beings. And reduction in human errors, because people can make errors, they make mistakes more, mainly if they have to work a lot, and they have to work for a long time. But the AI won't be tired, so the AI can work with less mistakes, and of course it can keep in mind more rules and more conditions that it has to check. And improve safety in certain industries such as manufacturing or transportation. Narrow AI can help improve safety by taking over dangerous or repetitive tasks that would put human workers at risk. Of course, it has weaknesses too. So, for example, lack of flexibility, because this system cannot perform tasks outside their designer's scope. So they can do only in the same way that is programmed. So, for example, translator AI cannot don't necessarily know accent or dialects. For example, if somebody speaks in English, but not the British English, but the Scottish English, it's not sure that the spelling will be good in the AI translated to English. I have a humorist guy who is Scottish, and the AI make yes, the text appears on the videos always, but the Scottish doesn't accent. The AI cannot understand the Scottish accent, so we can see very funny Christmas unknown subtitles. Yes, it's really very funny. So it has, of course, problems with this. And lack of understanding, because the narrow AI system do not understand what he does, what he does. He does something, but without any comprehension, because that is not his task. And they simply follow preprogramming structures or pattern they have learned from data. For example, in medical diagnosis, image pattern, for example, the AI can realize that something is on the lung, because they can see that the image comparing the pattern, but using the pattern recognition, it can see that some problem in the lung, but it cannot know if it is, for example, part of the gun, because it cannot realize that, for example, from the water part of the gun. So the human being, the human doctor has to check it. The AI can suggest and can check and can use the pattern recognition and the image processing, but after it, the results should be checked by the human doctor, because it has no understanding about the biological background of course. And dependency on data. The performance of the nano AI system is heavily dependent on the quality and quantity of the data they are trained on. For example, there was a CV checking system in the USA, and it turned out that it's so much prejudices than human beings. So they have to put, because the AI learn which people are good for a job from those papers that are made by people. So if the people make some differences between people, so the AI will do it too. For example, in the USA it was very how to say, so it turned out, because it was a really not nice point, that the AI throw out the CVs of the Latin people. They simply throw out, because the AI learned that every higher position is filled by a white man. So it's thrown out the Latin people, it's thrown out the women, of course, because it's not a white man, and kept only the white man's CVs in the suggestion. So it turned out that it has to have some corrections because the AI can learn from us, and then it can inherit all of my mistakes too. So. We have to be careful of the data that we give to the AI for learning and working. And future of narrow AI. So the narrow AI is everywhere. There are many on all phones. There are many in your cars and in our cars. In the television, the smart television, we have become really on it. I say it makes our life easier because they can have our lives in every part of our life. So from the morning to the evening, because of the Spotify, starting with the Spotify and weather forecast and self-driving car or the TV selection, Netflix and so on and so on. So we can rely on it. Moreover, narrow AI continues to improve, bringing us to the threshold of artificial general intelligence, because if it will be better and better, it will be close to the human being intelligence. So you will be those who can bring the nano AI closer to the artificial general intelligence or general artificial intelligence. And the future. If nano AI continues to improve at this rate, it will reach the border of the general AI. For example, instead of writing codes, for programmers, instead of writing codes, the programmers have to only design the program, and the AI can write the program, the AI can check the program, the AI can find the bugs in the program, the AI can test the program, the AI can do everything instead of the programmer. So the programmer has to design and tell to the AI what to do. So it means that more and more program can be written because you do not have to write 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 lines that the AI will generate instead of you. And you can concentrate more on the design of the program, of the software. Or streaming entertainment theater or an application that can make the television or the movie interactive. It means that you can decide if you want to see a nice end of this movie, or you want to see some bloody end of this movie, or if there is a live show, you can decide which direction the live show should go or something like this. So probably the streamer companies, for example, the Netflix is working on it. So probably we will see soon something that is that can make this functionality. And narrow AI also. The next one is general AI. So this is theoretically exists, and the super AI. If you want to think about it, you can think about movies, scientific fiction movies. Have you ever seen the Space Odyssey? What is said in English? Space Odyssey. So in the Space Odyssey, there is a force 9,000 that can be a sample that we want to go. And for example, the data from the Star Trek, the Next Generation, and the Johnny 5 from the Short Circuit. Maybe you saw that. But there are many. And it can be real very soon if you think that it can be, and you start on the way and you can do it. For example, if you remember, you do not remember, but in the 50s, so it means that 70 years ago, the 007 agent, 00 James Bond, yes, had a mobile phone in the car, and everybody thought that this is just a science fiction and it's impossible. And now everyone has a mobile phone in their pocket, not so big than James Bond had, but a small one. So if you think that it's not impossible, you can do it. Just time. And another type of groups of AI based on the functionalities. For example, the first one, the reactive machine AI. The reactive machines are AI systems with no memory and are designed to perform a very specific task. And that's very interesting because it has no memory, so it cannot base on the previous data, but it can work only the actual data. So this is something different than that has memory. For example, the IBM Deep Blue. This is an IBM chess playing supercomputer. AI analyzing the pieces on the board and predicting the probable outcomes of each move. So it doesn't know all of the chess games before it was played during the last 100 years, but he knows the actual data and try to predict what will be the next step of in the game. And for example, the Netflix recommendation engine is something very similar because it based on those data that you use. So it's not not based on the whole history, but the actual data. And the second one is the limited memory AI. This form of AI can record past events and outcomes and monitor specific object or situation over time. Limited memory AI can use past and present moment data to decide on a course of action most likely to have achieved the desired outcome. Yet, the generative AI application, for example, the ChatGPT is in this group, and the Deep AI, if you heard about it, probably yes. And the virtual assistant and chatbots, for example, the Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, Cortana, and IBM Watson is too. And the self-driving cars applications are in this group too. The next one is the theory of mind AI. It's a functional class of AI that fails underneath the general AI, though an unrealized form of AI today. AI is the theory of mind functionality would understand the thought and emotions of other entities. This understanding can affect how the AI interacts with those around them. In theory, this would allow the AI to simulate human-like relationships. Because the theory of mind AI could infer human motives and reasoning. It would personalize its interactions with individuals based on the unique emotional needs and intentions. In theory of mind, AI will also be able to understand and contextualize artwork and essays that can be very important for in a lot of fields in AI. And self-aware AI, this AI is a kind of functional AI class for application that would possess these super AI capabilities that is also, of course, theoretically exists yet. And of course, there is an ethical consideration in AI because there are bias. A system can inherit biases from the data they are trained on, that I talked about concerning the CV in the USA. And for example, the privacy, the use of AI raises concerns about privacy as it requires access to large amounts of personal data. For example, the social media. I hope you know it that if the social media is free of charge, it means that we are the product that is sold. So all data are collected and used for marketing things and trading and a lot of other things. The problem is that they will know everything about us, not only some things, but real everything. So they can predict what we will do, where we will go, and which kind of people and which kind of activities we will do. So that can be very dangerous. So maybe those who make some lawyers have to think about it because sometimes there's, how to say, can be really dangerous. In some countries, there are regulations against collecting data, but almost impossible because, as you can see, if you start to search something on Google, every social media application you know about it, and they will use it. So even if you do not want to register to the Instagram will get all of your data and they will know about you everything. Because these companies sell this data. And job displacement, the automation enabled by AI may lead to job replacement, raising concerns about the future of work. Yes, for example, the customer service has this big problem because there were many people in customer service, for example, but we can talk about, I saw in Poland, no, there are no takeaway guys running and biking on the street because they have robots. They have self-driving robots in Poland and they are the takeaway guys, so a lot of people lost their job probably. And of course AI has a big future and has an impact on a lot of things. And because you are an engineering, it means that you have a big future because you have a lot of possibilities on this field because you can design, you can have ideas. And if you have a very crazy idea, don't you think that it's impossible? You have to look around and walk around and maybe come back next year to this idea and next year to this idea. Because if you have an idea that it would be good to do this or do that, maybe it's not just for you, it's important, so maybe you can do it. So on the impact on engineering is very high. And of course, it's much easier to analyze, collect data, analyze data, and processing data. So every part of the life, you can do these things. The AI can give you a lot of possibilities. Improve data availability, and of course the ethical framework is important. And maybe it's long. Okay. So in the AI in software development, because there are two things. First of all, we can talk about the AI in the software development. The other thing is, I do not want to talk about today, the development, the AI. But you can use the AI in software development because artificial intelligence gives a lot of development tool for you. For example, the enhanced accuracy and quality, because the AI can identify patterns and transhuman might miss by analyzing large amounts of data. In turn, this improves the quality and accuracy of software development that you can use in your work. And personalization and adaptability, process optimization, I don't know, I think I do not have to explain it because it's quite understandable for engineers. And bug finding and enhanced security is another field that you can use the AI. And of course, you can use machine learning and its applications, for example, for predictive analytics, for code optimization, for personnel experiments, and security enhancement. And the natural language processing in software engineering is also can be used, for example, for code documentation. Thanks to Allah, because the people do not like the documents software, but we can use applications for it, and code completion, suggestion, and code search and retrieval. And computer vision and its application on software testing, because the software testing usually needs a lot of people, a lot of time, a lot of effort. But if we have an AI application, it can do it instead of us. So it can automatically UI test it, so it can check if the user can handle in the right way this interface, the user interface, for image recognition and analysis, and but about detection also is a very good part of it. So you do not have to waste time with these things that the AI can do instead of you. And automation and optimization with AI, for example, repetitive task automation that you have to do many times and lot of things. And performance optimization, resource allocation, and continuous integration and development. And yes, the ethical consideration is in the AI power software development too, so you have to take care about it and you have to think about it. And the future of AI is software development, so hyper-automation, AI will continue to drive hyper-automation with increased efficiency, reduced error rates, and faster software development cycles, intelligent assistant, cloud-native AI, and user-centric AI that helps the developer in designing and developing software. And of course, engineers means you, exactly you, play a crucial role in developing and implementing AI technologies, shaping the future of various industries existing and in those industries that will exist in the future. And by understanding the principles and applications of AI, engineers and leverage its potential to solve complex problems and drive innovations. And you can shape the future, of course. As AI continues to evolve, engineers will be at the forefront of creating the future where technology and human ingenuity work together. Okay, thank you. Sorry for it was a little bit long. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor. Yeah, thank you to Dr. Even though you are not feeling very well, but you are giving us a lot of things to learn today. Oke, teman-teman, seperti yang teman-teman lihat tadi, kira-kira udah siap mau kuliah di luar negeri nih kira-kira nanti nih? Great. Ya, so jadi teman-teman, seperti yang teman-teman tahu tadi, sudah dipaparkan dengan panjang lebar, ya, bagaimana nanti peranan AI ke depan. Nah, kita sebagai mahasiswa teknik nih, punya, seperti saya sampaikan Profesor tadi, punya kesempatan besar ya untuk belajar menggunakan dan memanfaatkan AI ini. Ya, tentunya ke depan we have to embrace the AI. Kita harus pakai. Kita nggak bisa menolak AI ini, gitu ya. Karena teknologi sudah ada. Ya, jadi sekarang bagaimana kita memanfaatkan? Nah, saya yakin ini banyak pertanyaan-pertanyaan dan teman-teman kalau ada pertanyaan silakan mungkin satu atau dua orang. Kalau nggak bisa bahasa Inggris, bahasa Indonesia aja boleh. Ya, silakan. Ya, silakan. Ya, silakan perkenalkan nama. Kalau bisa bahasa Inggris ya.
Good afternoon, Prof. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank in advance. My name is Muhammad Silma. I'm from Industrial Engineering. My question is, one of the skills from Industrial Engineering is problem solving. Can the artificial intelligence replace it? If cannot, how artificial intelligence and engineers combine to problem solving? Thanks.
AI can solve a lot of problems because they learn how to solve. For example, if you look at the system of electricity, there are many problems that the AI can solve in the center of electricity. So that they are around us. So there are many AI that can solve those problems that belongs to that problem frame that is for the AI. Of course, not everything, and it cannot solve everything because, as I told you, that we have no artificial intelligence that makes the same thinking as a human being, so it couldn't reach the intelligence of human being, the artificial intelligence yet. But maybe you will do it, but not yet. So if you want to use software for problem solving, it can help you a lot because it can collect data, it can process data, it can analyze data, and based on the results, you can make decisions. Sometimes if the AI cannot do it, or you think that the AI decision is not the best. So you have to always control what the AI suggests.
Ya, itu kira-kira ya. Ya, jadi kira-kira tadi menurut profesornya ada banyak ya AI untuk bisa menyelesaikan, tapi tetap butuh peranan manusia di dalamnya. Ya, jadi manusia AI itu belum sampai kepada kejelasan manusia. Ya, karena memang dia bisa membantu kita memproses, mengumpulkan data, tapi tetap harus ada manusia yang sebagai final decision maker-nya gitu ya. Jadi seperti itu kira-kira. Ya. Tapi kita bisa menggunakan AI untuk membantu kita mengumpulkan data, membantu menganalisis. Seperti katanya di dokter tadi kan ada contohnya di dokter ya. Tapi tetap memberikan diagnosis itu ujung-ujungnya harus dokternya, bukan AI-nya. Mungkin sama kira-kira dengan untuk problem solving ini. Ya, mungkin bisa memberikan suggestion gitu ya, saran, tapi tetap ada manusia yang mengevaluasi saran-saran. Ya, karena tadi AI-nya bisa saja terjadi bias atau kesalahan gitu ya. Oke, jadi butuh tetap manusia untuk memvalidasi. Oke, itu ya. Oke. And then the question, maybe ada pertanyaan lain? Ya, mas yang di depan ini kira-kira. Ya, bisa bahasa Inggris ya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Darul Rivalino. I'm from Informatic Engineering, and I want to ask you about personal recommendation from AI. How does
AI detect personal interest in social media algorithm, and is it safe for users and our privacy?
So, thank you for the questions, most questions, because they are very important and very interesting. So the social media, every social media, and not only the social media, but every search engine too. If we use Google, Bing, or other search engines, and any other social media, collects data. And of course it has a danger. It has a danger. So it means that you have to be careful because there is no control, no not rules for them in the countries what to make with this data and how they can handle. There are some countries who try to make rules. For example, the European Union told to the Facebook that the users can not agree with that collecting data, and you can say that no, you cannot collect my data. I'm not sure that they do not collect it, but I can do because there is a checkbox in the Facebook that I do not agree with collecting my data, and Facebook has to delete all of my data from the server. Then I delete it from the Facebook. So that's a checkbox. But how can you be sure that they will delete it? How can you be sure that they didn't sold it? They didn't sell it? Because they sell this data because a lot of programs, they made many data for testing programs, for example the AI programs, and that's why they sell this data because they have a lot to sell. For example, the pictures. First of all, Facebook started to sell all of the pictures that people uploaded into the Facebook because the face recognition software needed to have data. So they sold all of the pictures. And you do not know if they sold already to many companies or data or pictures. So that's why you have to be careful, and you never ever put any information that can be negative for you. For example, you shouldn't put, even if for one moment, you shouldn't upload pictures that you do not want to see in the future on the internet. Or those information, for example, if you put the information that you will go to a concert somewhere else, it means that a lot of people will know that you won't be at home or during that evening. So you shouldn't post anything when you are on a holiday, that I am in a holiday and I will go home only 2 weeks later, because a lot of people will know, and if they collect this information, you will know a lot of things about you. And for example, another danger, because if you want to have a contact with you, and he or she collects all of your data, he will know what kind of music you like, what kind of cookies you like, what kind of cities you would like to go, or what kind of concert you can do, and he or she can make a fake personality and get in touch with you, and you cannot realize that this is a fake person. And he will know everything about you. It means that it's very easy to have strong contact with you, and after it, of course, they can use it for not nice purposes. So that's, you have to, first of all, you have to be careful, because there are no rules for it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Professor. Yeah, before this, like 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, there's someone who posts everything about her home, and someone come to her home and steal something. So, yeah, jadi memang bersosial media tadi seperti yang disampaikan ini, memang kita bijak bersosial media, gitu ya. Jangan sampai kita mempost sesuatu yang memang ya privacy kita. Tadi kalau itu kemarin kan pernah dengar nggak beritanya baru 2 minggu kemarin kayaknya kan? Ada yang mempost rumahnya, suasana di rumahnya, gimana bentuk rumahnya, gimana warna rumahnya. Terus datang maling kan? Nah, terjadi pembunuhan. Ada baca berita itu nggak kira-kira? Nah, jadi bijak bersosial media karena data kita bisa saja dijual. Ya, tadi disampaikan Facebook menjual foto, ya, pictures di Facebook, yang dijual ke perusahaan untuk membaca pola muka kita. Jadi jangan-jangan orang di Cina itu udah tahu kita pakai apa, face recognition, ya. Ternyata muka kita jangan-jangan sudah diprogram sama orang Cina sana, udah tahu dia, atau orang Amerika udah bisa membaca kita mukanya gitu ya. Nah, jadi itu kita nggak bisa tahu kemana mereka jual data kita. Ya, tadi disampaikan, ingat sosial media itu gratis katanya kan? Gak mungkin, gak ada perusahaan itu yang amal kayak buat masjid gitu ya, gak mungkin. Pasti dia mengenerate sesuatu. Ya, maka yang dijual itu kita. Data kita yang dijual. Nah, jadi bijaklah bersosial media yang gak penting-penting. Ya saya sih juga pada zamannya rajin juga upload foto memang ya. Tapi sekarang memang udah dikurangi gitu ya. Ya, jadi intinya bersosial media dengan bijak, karena kita belum punya bahkan ya, nanti kita perlu tahu juga nih di Indonesia apakah sudah menerapkan ya tentang privacy data ini. Kalau di Eropa katanya udah, jadi kalau di Eropa kalau kita nggak mau datanya dikolek, kita bisa memberitahukan ke Facebooknya atau ke sosial media aja misalnya. Tapi kalau di Indonesia kita nggak tahu apakah sudah ada. Ya, jadi dulu katanya waktu kita secara nggak sadar kita kan ada baca terms and condition gitu ya. Ya, terms and condition itu ada katanya di situ bahwa data semua yang kita berikan di sosial media itu punya perusahaan. Misalnya kita ngupload foto atau film nih ke sosial media, itu dalam terms and conditionnya kalau kita agree itu punyanya perusahaan, bukan punya kita lagi. Nah, jadi kita perlu bijak dengan penggunaan sosial media ini. Jangan sampai kita menjadi korban dari penggunaan sosial media. Jadi bijaklah sosial media ya. Kira-kira gitu ya. Ya, bagus sekali pertanyaannya. Mungkin ya, karena mungkin itu aja kali ya, karena beliau lagi kurang sehat gitu ya. Mungkin kita cukupkan saja 2 pertanyaan. Sekali lagi untuk teman-teman, kedepannya AI ini akan banyak membantu kita, ya. Nah, tapi bijak juga menggunakan AI, ya, karena dari segi etik, sebenarnya banyak yang perlu kita diskusikan, ya, mengenai etika ini. Tapi karena beliau ini kurang sehat, ya kayaknya nanti kita bisa dalam mata kuliah lain, dalam mata kuliah nanti nanti kami informatika ada emerging teknologi, kita baru bisa membahas etika menggunakan AI. Ya, karena ini juga salah satu topik yang sangat penting. Bagaimana kita menggunakan AI pada tempatnya. Ya, jadi jangan nggak hanya membuang sampah pada tempatnya sekarang, ya, tapi menggunakan AI juga ada etikanya. Jadi nggak semuanya kita gunakan AI gitu ya, tapi ada saat-saatnya boleh, ada saatnya nggak boleh. Ya, walaupun sekarang kita banyak yang kebablasan, ya. Jadi ini kedepannya juga perlu kita diskusikan bagaimana menggunakan AI yang bijak. Oke, mungkin itu aja teman-teman untuk kuliah pakar kita hari ini. Sekali lagi berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk kuliah kita. Thank you for sharing knowledge with us, and I hope we do have collaboration between our students, and maybe like we will form a small research group together with the Hungarian integration, and maybe at the faculty, because I believe there is a lot of things that we can learn from the European counterparts, and maybe we can use it in Indonesia, because Indonesia is a very agricultural place, and we have a lot of things that we need to improve. Yeah, and I do really hope we can do collaborative research together for the lecturer and for the student in the next year. Oke, terima kasih sekali lagi teman-teman. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada moderator. Itulah tadi kuliah bakar Fakultas Teknik Universitas Pahlawan dengan tema Artificial AI Usage on Engineering. Dan dapat kita simpulkan bahwa AI ini banyak manfaat jika digunakan dengan sebaiknya. Begitu pula tidak digunakan dengan baik akan mendapat dampak yang negatif pula. Dan untuk selanjutnya mungkin bisa sesi foto bersama, dan thank you very much to the speaker, moderator, committee, and participant who have attended and listened to the event from beginning to end. I, Master of Ceremony, apologize for all the shortcomings and mistakes. Hopefully you all have decent day. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Untuk panitia mungkin boleh diatur sesi fotonya seperti apa?